Revolution Radio.
And hold that thought for a second. I would like to make sure that our listener who are just picking up the show as we are airing right now, that because of your 100% listener support, you made it possible to bring Mr. Vadim Starov, who is directly from Russia. He is an international well-known president and chief instructor of the International Training Center of Systema, Spetsnaz, Russia-style hand-to-hand combat. Okay? And Mr. Starov has a systemized and improved psychophysiological research study in regards to theory and practice of activation and use of reserve human abilities. That's method of training for the system of reserve human abilities in extreme situation, mainly is based on doctrines of Russian psychological school and also on the prior scientific research of the military institutes and application of special forces. Okay, so he has been trained in Russian-style combat, Sambo, Systema, and boxing. At age 23 years old, he graduated from Military Academy of Air Missile Forces. It's called Marshal Berzov, where he served in special operation units. And he uses the method of scientific approach from a position of physiology and neurophysiology of the person. Training exercises are based on research of Dr. I. Schultz for pilots of long-distance flights and spiritual knowledge received from huge cultural heritage of ancient Russia. And that ancient Russia, had he mentioned, I believe, is from the Slavic style. So we are very fortunate to have him here this morning and to have Dr. Luba taking her time off to translate for us this morning. And please go to that donation button and keep us alive, keep us kicking by providing you this kind of information with your donation. Whatever you can donate, share the information. We appreciate it. So for those of you who do have a question, that direct number line for Studio A is 347-688-2902. That's 347-688-2902. Feel free to visit our chat room, and we have Ann and Hans standing by to receive the information for you as I'm interviewing Mr. Starov, all directly from Russia. Okay, so Mr. Starov, we want to know is, okay, so doing the emotional, what's the next step? You mentioned the physical aspect. How do we condition our body to be ready to practice mind control? How do we condition? How do we shape our body?
Каким образом мы можем подготовить тело, когда вы говорили о физиологической подготовке человека к этому уровню, как можно подготовить тело как другая ступень развития после эмоциональной подготовки?
Первое – это расслабление. В природе все живое – это расслабленное. Нужно научиться. Расслабленное тело – это гибкое тело, гибкий мозг и отсутствие энергоинформационных зажимов.
So first of all, you have to learn how to relax, because everything alive in the world is in a very relaxed state. So first you need to be very flexible and very relaxed, because when you very flexible body, you have very flexible emotions too.
And how does part of the Systema training train you to be flexible on the physical level? Does that mean using yoga or qigong?
Ваша система готовит ли именно тело для такой подготовки? И, например, нужно ли заниматься, например...
Okay, do we have a connection? Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so...
I think Gina
okay.
is having the connection issues. I'm going to drop her and try to bring her back in.
Okay. Okay. So please excuse the technical difficulties we're having. We are connecting from Kentucky to California all the way to Russia. So we apologize for any technical difficulties at this time. So please stand by as we are fixing this problem. And we're bringing back Dr. Luba, who's our translator. And we are speaking with Mr. Vadim Starov, who is a trained specialist all the way from Russia. He's has developed his own Systema Spetsnaz, the Russian-style hand-to-hand combat, and he's also the member of the Russian Veteran Union Special Force. So he still is active and training many of the members and the people who's interested in acquiring this technique and skill. And as I mentioned earlier, he is internationally well known all over the world. He has trained people like movie stars as well, and that have come to Russia and where he trained in private sessions. Some have been about mind control and to delete their mind as they take on a role when they perform movies. So to get into the character, one has to change completely with their mind, body, and spirit. So, but after a movie, a movie star would have to delete that character out and reclaim themselves again. So he has performed those kind of skills and technique to help movie star. So do we have them back, Hans?
I'm still working on it. I asked Gina to reboot her Skype. Maybe we can bring her back in.
Okay,
so
that's
just
fine.
Hang in there.
That's fine. In the meantime, for those of you who are just coming in, and I wanted to again ask you to support us to be here on Revolution Radio. Hans is my producer and also and they're both are volunteering, including myself, to be able to bring you information that for our listener. We are 100% support, so we need your help. And so please make a donation to keep us alive. And it is an honor to have this space that I can bring you, Mr. Starov from Russia. And he has brought an enormous contribution of knowledge to the development of crime prevention and safety measure of the person within the daily life, applying the methods of training within the Russian-style combat. Since the Russian-style center opened their door in 2001, more than 300 various seminars were taught for civilian security and bodyguard application in countries like Latvia, Slovakia, England, Germany, France, Italy, USA, and Dominican Republic as well. And summer camp for young teens have been organized under the state program Patriotic Education of Citizens of the Russian Federation in support of building strong mind, body, and spirit, guiding the youth in positive directions. Okay, so do we have Dr. Luba? Are you with us? Her connection is still bad?
Yeah, Gina, if it's possible, can you reboot your Skype and see if we can get a better connection? Or we're getting us a popping and everything else. I guess we just have to try again. Give her a couple of minutes.
That's fine. And in the meantime, I'm going to continue sharing with our listener background of Mr. Starov. Mr. Starov has published a number of articles and book Russian-style combat. It's called Path of the Warrior. So I think you guys can Google that. The educational concept of the book are adopted for special forces and cadets of military schools, as well as instructors of various martial arts. The book was reviewed and recommended by the head of Educational Institution of Russia, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and Department of Physical Education. Okay. He also has DVD out for those who are interested. More than 25 Systema Spetsnaz instructional DVDs are available. okay, covering various topics of Russian-style hand-to-hand combat. And I think this is really amazing for the people who are in the military, police, security, who would like to upgrade their physical skills. And this is a very, I think, a very positive and method of technique, because a lot of it is it's a no-hand combat. That's no-brainer. You don't want to get yourself physically injured in any shape or form, so you have to learn the system, okay? And that would be a great way to start off doing, adding to, in addition to your training as well. For those who are interested in also self-defense, I believe this is also have a good technique for those of you who needs it. And nowadays, as he mentioned before, the way is peace. It's all about the peace of mind, body, and spirit. It's not to use physical contact, and for that, you have to cultivate the mind. As he mentioned, it takes 1 year to cultivate that. And now we're discussing the physical aspect, how to cultivate that. And he is a big believer in using the Systema Spetsnaz style, and there are physical things that one can perform to help cultivate the mind, body, and spirit. So it's not always just sit and meditation. As you mentioned, your body's got to be very flexible. So there are stretches that one can do, and he does offer all these mind, body, and spirit training. He will be coming here in the U.S. to provide these training for you. It is a very, very special time that he provides this, because it's very expensive to travel to Russia to learn this technique. So Dr. Luba and Mr. Starov are working in coming here to the U.S. We wanted to bring him here and to provide this amazing training for the people in the U.S. So for those of you who have connection with, military member, I know in San Diego we have a huge military stations, and we can definitely provide that for our military members in the Air Force, Marines, Army, and the Navies, and anyone who is whole security position. Definitely this would provide an upgrade training for you. He will be here in LAX. Okay, I believe it's Sheraton Hotel, and that would be a 3 days course training. Okay, so it'll be kind of like a Monday, no, not a Monday, but a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a 3-day event. Okay, and you have to register with Dr. Luba, and I will give you those informations for contact. He will be here to train you directly. And I believe there'll be lunch, snack provided as well, since it'll be catered. And for 3 days, he'll be here to train those of you who are interested. It is first come, first serve reservation. So make sure that you contact me or Dr. Luba directly, and we'll provide you more information. And this training will be coming in March of 2014. That's March, very beginning of March 2014. Okay, and he's here directly from Russia to work with you. He is a specialist. And so for those of you who are interested, feel free to drop us a message in the chat room or call us directly at 347-688-2902 as we're working to get Dr. Luba back. Is Dr. Luba back?
I think we have Dr. Luba back.
Oh, wonderful. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so do you remember the question?
Yes, I do.
Or did we lost you?
I will repeat the question.
Okay.
Вадим, у нас связь плохая была. Значит, каким образом можно подготовить тело для того, чтобы достичь вот этого уровня после того, как были подготовлены эмоции? Hello, Vadim, вы слышите меня? Can he hear me?
Окей, окей, я слышу. Первое, расслабление – это открытие как энергетических, так и информационных каналов. Расслабление тела, расслабление психическое, расслабление физическое, расслабление психическое, духовное, информационное. То есть это некое состояние вакуума, это состояние приемника. В дальнейшем состояние концентрации – это передача.
First of all, you have to learn how to relax your body, your emotions. Basically, you will open up your channels. It's for spiritual channels and physiological channels. And the second one step, it will be concentration, that you will be able to move the information to somewhere, like transistor.
Okay, is moving, when he talks about moving energy, does he refer to your chakras, the 7 or the 15 chakras?
Когда вы говорите про движение энергии, вы говорите про чакры, например, там 7-я или 15-я, 17-я.
Помимо чакр, в индийских практиках чакры, в даосских это дантяни, в китайских с позиции медицины это центры центральной нервной системы.
If you talk about from Indian standpoint, it is a chakras. From a Chinese standpoint, it's a central nervous system points.
Okay, where are the central nerve system point? Is he talking about the meridians?
Вы говорите про меридианы центральной нервной системы?
Я говорю в целом про комплексную систему и связь внешних и внутренних систем, которые получают информацию и передают эту информацию.
I'm talking about the complex system in general, overall, the system that they could accept information and transform and send information.
So he mentioned about opening up your meridians to allow this transmitting of information. Does using yoga or yoga and Tai Chi or Qigong helps?
Использование, например, йоги или тайчи или цигун систем будет помогать для того, чтобы открыть вот какие-то меридианы или каналы?
Это одни из направлений комплексной системы развития тела, разума и духа. Только мало кто комплексно это развивает. Кто-то идет только одним путем. Но речь идет о комплексном развитии и открытии каналов.
This is some of the directions to develop emotional and spiritual and physiological being, but not many people using all in a complex. That's the key, is to use the variety of methods in a complex together.
I see. So let's say if I were to practice the Systema complex method for 1 hour of opening up my channel, I'm also doing it on the emotional, physical, and spiritual as well. It's like it's all 3 in 1. So in 1 hour, I can actually clear my emotion, physical, and spiritual all at once.
Если я буду практиковать вашу систему, то значит ли это, что в течение часа я смогу уже и на физическом уровне, на эмоциональном, на духовном почистить, так сказать, свой уровень эмоций, то есть достичь каких-то результатов?
Для кого-то достаточно 1 минуты, для кого-то часа, но в среднем это несколько дней. Речь идет о том, что получить новую информацию, которая, может быть, даст человеку какой-то импульс или толчок к саморазвитию. Достаточно бывает в жизни одной только встречи с человеком, когда в жизни меняется все.
Yes, for some people, 1 minute it's enough. For some people, 1 hour it's enough. Sometimes just meeting somebody, it's already a good push towards the self-development, some kind of
activation.
Activation.
That's what he means by activation.
Activation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's called activation. Okay, so I do have tools that help people actually do that kind of activation, and it's basically a shortcut. My product called the T Nano, and that's something that I'm actually looking forward for Mr. Starov to have the experience. And I wanted to give our information to those of you who are interested in, would like to look into more Mr. Starov information. His website is www.Spetsnaz.com. That's SYSTEMASPETSNAZ.com. And I will put this information for you guys. Okay. And definitely feel free to access that. And also, Dr. Luba, can you give us the contact information for those who would like to acquire to make reservation for the March 2013 reservation?
Yes. In English,
yes,
the website in English, it's called www.spetsnazworkshop.com.
Revolution Radio.